It's aiming at silencing the community, silencing dissent, making sure that people are afraid enough, that they literally stated multiple times over the past months, over the past years, we will hunt you down wherever you are. So that's a clear message to anyone seeking to leave China or already having left China, that you're not safe anywhere. Our latest investigation, 110 Overseas, China's Transnational Policing Gone Wild, documents one specific campaign operated by a couple of counties within China using illegal methods to target, approach, and persuade individuals abroad to return to China against their will. Illegal methods which included threatening, harassment of their family members, relatives back home, but also the use of individuals linked to the United Front operating in so-called overseas police stations everywhere in the world, across the 5 continents, to assist in these illegal policing operations against Chinese overseas. The particular campaign to counter telecom fraud, or at least that is what they call it, has brought back 230,000 individuals between April 2021 and July of this year, according to official numbers released by the Ministry of Public Security in China. So obviously we're talking huge numbers. So we started looking into this specific campaign carried out by a couple of provinces, a couple of counties in particular. And we came across the fact that they are now, using the kind of United Front network that we know exists around the world, but that, the Ministry of Public Security, the local county public security bureaus are building on this existing framework to set up these kind of overseas, well, not kind of, literally overseas police service centers that can be used and have been used. So this is obviously completely illegal. This is no regular international police cooperation, which obviously there's very strict rules. These have been set up without any knowledge of local authorities, without any requests. I think it also shows how brazen the CCP is getting and how little regard they have, I would say, for other governments. When they talk about non-interference, this is a kind of non-interference, I guess, that the CCP likes to boast about, which obviously it's in violation of international law, it's in violation of territorial sovereignty. So on these 230,000, we don't really have an account of what happened to each individual. So the persuasion tactics used when they use family members, relatives, loved ones, but even in some cases, community, maybe community elders, people that are responsible for a certain part of the community, they can either, keep their kids from going to public schools, from attending certain schools. They can cut off benefits, which may be social benefits, health benefits. They may confiscate the properties of those people. They may confiscate maybe their bank accounts or freeze their bank accounts. People may lose their employment, be banned from certain employment. So anything really to convince them to persuade their family members or otherwise related person to come back. But in some cases it goes a lot further, and they will, interrogate people, bring people in for interrogation, maybe detain people. There's also guilt by association. There's accounts of people being actually prosecuted or arrested for the charges against their family member or the presumed charges. So this is already happening. We know these techniques are being used at all levels. I think we were a bit surprised ourselves to see that even for these kind of lower level targets, we would say, which are telecom fraud, they are using the same techniques, and they are really building this apparatus around the world, or building on, an already existing apparatus and expanding on it. We think we caught this quite at the beginning. The Fuzhou ones, for example, the one in New York, was set up, the first batch, only in January of this year. So we're really at the start of it. But we also know that they're building on an existing network of United Front work organizations. So this may escalate very quickly, if not stopped right at the beginning.